Well, today we're coming to you from industrial area and we want to take a special focus on the state of manufacturing. We'll be speaking to Dr. Rakesh Rao, the CEO of Crown Paints. How is the industry performing in regards to the dollar shortage as well as the rise in petroleum prices? We'll be having this conversation on the Trading Bell. But first, let's take a look at his profile. Rakesh Rao has been at the helm of Crown Paints Kenya Limited, the leading paint company in East Africa, as Chief Executive Officer since 2005. Rakesh won the Koya Awards for 2014. Rakesh has steered the company to an annual turnover of over $60 million and enjoys 65% market share. In 2014, he led the team to win overall Company of the Year, Productivity, Quality and Leadership Management Awards. Thank you so much for joining us on the Trading Bell. A difficult time for manufacturers considering the supply chain disruptions we've witnessed, at the same time the high fuel costs. How is the business?
Yeah, I think definitely business is being affected because there's high inflations, because any time when inflations take place, the business demand, generally the product demand goes down, and it's affect everyone. So all basically our users of paints all are affecting. I can say that even the steel, cement, all construction material price gone crazy by 30-40%. So that's affected us. But I think we have been managing. We know that situation in business keeps coming and going. When the Ukraine war started, we were expecting the fuel price to go up, and there will be a lot of challenges likely to come of supply chain. So, I mean, we are lucky that we had enough supply of the raw materials. We've been advancing our raw material stocking for last 2 years, because as soon as the COVID has hit us, we started focusing on our RM stock, and in fact we improved invest in our stock take in raw material. Around 2 to 3 months we increase our stock level. So in fact we put another say 800-900 million shillings additional to RM stock, so we maintain supply chain. But till last year demand was reasonably okay, but I can see this year demand of the off-take, particular at retail, has been down by 15, 20, 30%, depend on the month. But average we can say 25%. The sentiments are being towards saying elections has been approaching, inflation, high inflation. So definitely when this situation happens, the demand generally get affected of any brand. Yeah.
All right. And Dr. Rakesh, of course, we've witnessed the issue around the dollar shortage in the country. We recently saw a couple of manufacturers coming out saying this is affecting operations. And have you felt the shortage in the first place? Secondly, how is this affecting operations at your level?
Of course, I mean, it's hit our cost, because now we're our budgeted cost is $118 and 118 shillings per dollars, but now it's been 121, 122, so it's 4% is already been gone up. And plus its dollars are not available as and when required, so, and that's just pushing up the price up. So yes, again impacting on bottom line, is affecting our profitabilities, plus many times affecting our scheduled payment to the suppliers, because overseas suppliers do not care, I mean, what is happening in Kenya. I mean, they need their material. Most of our suppliers are multinational companies and global suppliers. They are looking for payments in the right time. So yes, sometimes we have a challenge of getting a shipment delay from the suppliers because we've not been paid in time, or we delay in our payments. Yes. Sometimes we have to do request to our customer suppliers that okay, fine, there will be delay of 10 days, 15 days. So somehow we have been managing at the moment, but yeah, its situation has not been great. If you really talk to us as a manufacturer, the situation must improve.
All right.
Yeah.
And in terms of the sector regulator, they're yet to come out to give a position on this. What, in your view, do you feel should the central bank do in regards to the shortage?
I think the statements are keep coming. We just read today's statement from governor. There's nothing, there's no shortage there. But there is something which probably there's a gap in communication, what we have been hearing, what banks are saying. I strongly believe that the regulator has to be to coordinate with the bank, because we are our source of dollars is the bank. So if they can have a meeting, they can coordinate well and can able to communicate to all our consumer or customers that how they're going to manage, because there's a lot of communication gap, and some banks say there's no much issue on the dollars, some says yes there's an issue on dollars. So I think there's a lot of communication gaps are happening. Maybe clear-cut communication from government can come to why it is happening and what is the way forward. And maybe the bank and the central bank can able to come with a common, guideline and how to handle the situation, and on various questions, if they say this is going to be answered, FAQ based, okay, yeah, this is the issue, this is the problems, and when it's going to be, ease out the dollar supplies. So if fine, say fine is another 15 days, 20 days, 2 months, 3 months, so at least we know how to manage our businesses. Yeah.
And Dr. Rakesh, let's move the conversation forward. When you look at currently the cost of various items have gone up, from fuel costs. We've also seen inflation also going up. And has this translated in the cost of manufacturing on your end in terms of the cost of doing business?
Of course. Definitely, if you worldwide, all the raw material prices are not coming down, and it's been rising day by day. I mean, that's why we took one price increase in first quarter, and now we have to do another price increase on this month in July onwards, because if the raw materials keeps on coming at high price, and we have to pass on to the consumers, and we know the expected the demand is likely to go down, but we have no options that if we do not, we can't take this hit at our profitabilities, because otherwise it's going to affect us operation, because we see the demand is a little bit down 20-25%, so it has already affected our profitabilities on our volume base, what we make money. So plus the cost of RM is going up, so it has a double-edged hit on us, so we've been affected both the sides. So what we've been trying to do, just trying to manage what is the price increase, RM going up, we just trying to pass on to the customers and try to manage our operations, not in a profitable way, but at least managing our business.
All right. So looking at the Kenya business, clearly it's a lot of headwinds in terms of operational challenges, but how is the region in terms of the subsidiaries? How are they performing in regards to the market operations?
I think regions are doing well. Last year we had a challenge because they had elections, and then Kenya was not under the elections. So I think we have took hit last year. Last year also COVID was been quite impacted, Rwanda, Uganda particular, and almost 2 months there were a lot of shutdown. So last year was quite difficult year for us, because 2 months is quite a significant impact on business. But of late, I think this year subsidiaries started well, particularly Uganda, Rwanda started well. Tanzania has been now, after the new regime has new leadership there, I think things are moving very well there. The only challenge which we have been managing is supply chain at Tanzania. So I think so far the sentiments of the business product and demands are quite a bit there.
All right. And what are some of the asks you have to the government in regards to the taxation? We've seen a lot of manufacturers coming out saying that we need to review our taxation regime as a country, because it has a big effect on how manufacturers operate, and this is of course passed down to the consumer.
Yeah, I think each body has a new taxes. Each body would like to manage business in its own way, and I think sometimes no one want to understand the pain of the manufacturer. So I think there should be some one tax policy or something like that. You collect one tax and then maybe government can distribute among the other authorities, rather than every authorities comes and penalize and try to be sometimes difficult to manage their practices. If government can come out with a clear-cut policy that should be one window system according to me. You deal with one person and you pay your tax here, and after that there should not be no question should be asked. I think that can be work better, and people, manufacturers can have a smooth working and smooth selling in a business. I think Kenya has a great potentials, and we should able to invite more and more manufacturer here, give them the easy conditions, they give them the lot of incentives to come and invest, because we've been proud human capital in this countries, and definitely we can take the huge advantage of capital, human capital in this country. In fact, today our maybe manufacturing GDP, contribution to the GDP maybe 15, 16 or 17%, approximately 15 to 17%. If we have vision to take it 35% or just double it, I think each Kenyan can get a job here, and the country can flourish, and Kenya should able to lead in Africa rather than other countries are leading. So we have great opportunities. We need to make our visions and make the taxation policy friendly to a manufacturer. I think we need to require more participations from manufacturer. We need a common discussion on a table and try to hear them out on a fast track, and hearing them out and making quick policies. So many times, like, we have a lot of meetings and we do a lot of talk, but talk never walk, and things remain as it is because there's a lot of challenges and bureaucracy are there. I think it's important that we head the bureaucracy and take manufacturing out of the bureaucracy, and should be a one window systems. We can work fast on a fast track, and manufacturer can breathe well, and any manufacturer, if they can breathe well, they can produce well, and they can help to GDP to grow.
We are almost halfway into the year, and which areas do you see growth, and what is your outlook for 2022?
Okay, I'm from construction sector, so I can only speak about construction sectors, and definitely I think there's a great opportunity because there's still a lot of supply gap issues with low cost housing, and I can see that a lot of low cost housing is going to be there. Infrastructure is continue to grow in Africa because it's required, it's a basic need for any country to grow. So if you look into that, construction sectors continue to grow. Maybe it can percentage wise plus minus can be 1 or 2% less, but I think still the construction is going to be a very, very important portfolio to grow a GDP of this country. Now we can see as this COVID has been getting out of the market, I think a lot of chances of tourism is likely to become going to play a major role in economy boost. The issue is only that how as a government, as a leaders, we to take it. If you make this one of the best destination in the world to see and visit, I think people have a lot of money to spend. Last 2 to 3 years, people have not spent money in travel, and they are sitting a lot of money in the pocket. You just need to explore. So I don't know whether this time where Kenya can market them heavily in the world and try to bring people out. So tourism, construction sectors are two areas can really change the future of the economy.
And as we wrap it up, Dr. Rakesh, of course, to every CEO right now, what is top on mind is we're going to an election cycle, and this may or may not affect operations. Historically, we've seen any election year, business activity slows down. What do you see in the horizon in regards to the upcoming elections and the business confidence in terms of transitioning through after the elections?
I think if you really ask me about Kenya, there's not elections affecting the business at the moment. Slow down in business and trying to affect the business volumes value. It's probably supply chain. Ukraine has affected big way where they could not get many millers could not get a wheat. So, and that's the reason the cost of all the food items gone up. So supply, because of entire whole chain of supply chains are affected because of the it's a war. So I mean that's what contributing like 10 to 15% in this Kenya economy, which has gone down because costs of everything gone crazy and it's become like unaffordable. Like steel price went up to 30-40%, cement went 20%. I'm just talking about construction sector. Now talk about all food item is also gone by 30-40% because of supply chain issues. So keep election aside. So there are global supply issues which probably keep the price up, going up, and that's been affecting to everyone. I think we have seen so many elections, and I can tell you we have seen elections in Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, everywhere. There will be some short time where the people would like to see the mood of the country and where how the leadership is going to be of the next leadership for the country. So on basis of that, sometime they would like to control their buying and purchases for wait and watch, but it will not make a very significant difference to the Kenyan economy. I think it's a very resilient economy. We have seen many elections. We'll sell through maybe 10-15% plus minus you can manage, but that's how happen in any elections, happen in any country. So it's just a matter of time. But I don't think should have a big impact on a business of Kenyan economy due to election.
All right, and I just want to get your parting shot. It's the season for manifestos, and as manufacturers, what would you like to see in the next administration, them tackling that affects manufacturing, and of course, how to grow the sector?
No, I think that's what I'm saying. See, manufacturing sector is very dynamic. I can talk about constructions, okay, what we required, but there are so many other industries which country has a lot of potential. Like even mining industry, Kenya has a lot of potential. So I think that's what I'm saying. If can make a one window systems and we had bureaucracy in the particular wish list of manufacturer, and then they provide the quick solutions, and it makes sure that any industries would like to set up a plant in the Kenya. If you have a window where you can go across the table, sit across the table, discuss the issues, solution being provided and been confirmed by the ministry, I think then good to go. And that's what I'm saying. We as a country, we never promoted Kenya, that Kenya can be a great manufacturing destinations. We keep on talking about maybe tourist destination. Why we can't talk about manufacturing destination? Because we have a lot of skilled manpower. Kenya has been great human capital. So I think issue is that how we're going to utilize, and when you have human capitals, the manufacturers become very easy because the cost of productions goes down. Today you talk about Bangladesh, talk about Vietnam. Those are the countries are growing by 12-13% because most of you will surprise after the China, the biggest manufacturer of many items are moved to those countries because the friendly environmental provided by the government and guideline which has been helping manufacturers to go and produce, because any manufacturers would like to have a cost benefit analysis. Once have a cost, then he can compete in the global market, and Kenya can do that. They just need a vision and the solution.
All right. And in closing, Dr. Rakesh, right now business leaders are very keen on business sustainability.
Yes.
What's your message to the corporate leaders as well as to shareholders during these uncertain times?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. To sustain businesses is important that you need to build your strategy, and each business requires different strategy. Okay, now when you do the strategies, most important of any organizations is the financial stabilities. Okay, and the vision for growth. Once you have a financial sustainabilities and better cash flows, and have a right strategy to competitive in the market, and how to maximize the resources to bring more wealth to the companies and improve the cost management. Otherwise, if you cannot control the cost, you cannot manage the business. You cannot manage the business, you cannot grow. So financial stability is very important, required to grow business. continuous focus on a cash flow, continuous focus on a resource management, whatever resources you have, how smartly you can utilize, how you can use the latest technology to improve your supervisions, improve your eyes on all the areas, how we can do better and how can improve the productivity. Improving the productivity, bring the cost down, be competitive, have a right business strategies and have a financial stability, you cannot go wrong.
All right. Thank you, sir, for your time and
Pleasure.
for your great insights. We do hope the business prospects remain up there.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, we've been speaking there to Dr. Rakesh Rao, the Managing Director at Crown Paints, just giving us the outlook for the sector, and manufacturing continues to really feel the heat when it comes to the cost of doing business, but they remain optimistic that things will level off in the coming days and months. Well, I want us to take a quick look at the markets, and that's all we had for you here on the Trading Bell. Until next time, keep it locked on KT News.